Komes Raspberry Porter up next on End of the Day Beer Review. Hi everybody, it's Rich. Welcome to End of the Day Beer Review. If you're new, welcome. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Today we're going to be looking at Komes Raspberry Porter. This is 8.5% alcohol, and they say it is brewed with raspberry juice, lagered with vanilla and chili peppers. And I found this in a Total Wine while I was actually in... I think it was in New Jersey when I saw this, and it looked really, really interesting. This is 8.5% ABV, and I'm sort of excited to see if it lives up to what it's saying here. I love vanilla. I really am a big fan of raspberries, so I'm sort of interested in what this is going to be like. Now, I am using a stout glass for this, which I know is not correct, but I sort of like the way the stout glasses let us see the beer. Now this is a larger beer, and I think I spent about wow, the aroma just hit, and I only just opened the bottle, and that's normally indicative of something good. I'm definitely getting a fruity aroma. I'm getting some vanilla without even having really smelled the bottle. Ooh, this is really got a lovely nose to it. Uh-oh, there's a little water in that glass. Let me just dump that in the sink. Just give it a pour. Now it's pouring, I don't know if the camera is gonna pick this up, but it's definitely pouring with a little bit of a reddish brown tint to it. So this is not as dark as I normally enjoy beer. I normally like that jet black, heavy ABV, and the ABV on this is not light. It's still 8.5, which is pretty good. But yeah, it's sort of filling the bar with this sort of fruity smell. Yeah, the raspberries are very pronounced. It almost reminds me of a Linderman's Fremois type of raspberry. So it's a very pronounced raspberry nose on this. There is some lacing, a little bit of legs on the glass, although I wouldn't really expect much at 8.5. The carbonation looks pretty significant here. For the first time I can actually hear the carbonation in the beer, which is something I normally don't hear that often as I'm opening a beer and pouring it, but this is pretty good. It's a light brown tan type of head, which is dissipating pretty fast, which I'm sort of glad about, because I'm hoping this is not one of those beers that's just overly carbonated. So yeah, I'm getting definitely the raspberry. I'm getting some notes of like a dark chocolate as well, which, you know, it almost smells like one of those raspberry chocolate brownie desserts that you can get. All right, the nose is good. Again, raspberry, vanilla, little bit of chocolate on the back end of what I'm getting out of the nose on this one. But, you know, you can only go so far with the nose. Let's see how this actually tastes. Wow, that's gonna take a little bit to figure out. The dominant flavor here is raspberry, but it's more muted than I expected it to be. I expected it to be a little bit more pronounced. I was also expecting the beer to be sweet. It's definitely not sweet. There's no bitterness to it. It's almost like the sweetness you get from a dark chocolate, and I do still stand by that original feeling that this is sort of a raspberry chocolate dessert, but it's not muted. I'm sorry, it's not sweet. It's sort of a muted raspberry that you're getting on the back end of your tongue, mixed very, very clearly with some chocolate notes. I'm not getting any of the chili pepper, and I'm getting a little bit of vanilla. So this is a really complex little beer here. You know, I expected one thing and I've gotten something completely different. I expected it to be sort of sweet. It's not. I expected it to be almost cloyingly fruity. It's not. The raspberry flavor there is enjoyable, but not so overstated that you're sitting there going, oh my God, it's, you know, just strictly a fruit type of beer. It's really a complex sort of taste to this. Some raspberry, some chili, some raspberry, some chocolate, a very little bit of vanilla, less than I expected. And you know, I'm getting the alcohol burn as it's going down, which I'm sort of surprised at, because normally an 8.5, that's not something that I would expect. I would expect it to be a little less of the burn. So I'm wondering if that's the chili. Like maybe there is a hint of heat here that's coming from the chili peppers. This is actually very, very difficult to figure out, because each sip I'm getting something just a little bit different. Yeah, definitely raspberry. And you know, now I'm starting to get, I don't think that's the alcohol burn. I think that's actually the chili that's in there. I think there's just a little bit of heat to this as well. But it doesn't hit till it's starting to go down your throat. It's quite frankly a confusing beer. And I don't know if it's that I was just expecting it to be sort of a sweet type of dessert beer, and it's really not. It's much more complex than that. The raspberry, I expected to be much more prominent. It's not. It's muted. There's that chocolate flavor. There's definitely some heat to this beer as well. And I don't know if the heat is from the chilies or the alcohol. So I have to say this is probably one of the harder ones that I've had to try to put a label on. Am I enjoying it? I am, but not the way I expected it not the way I expected to enjoy it. I expected this to be much more of a dessert type of beer, and it's not. This is actually something that you want to, I wish I had someone here to share it with, because we could talk about it, and it really does need that. It needs to be discussed, because I would like to know, like, would you get chocolate out of it? I'm not getting as much vanilla as I expected. I personally think that this is a great beer to have with people just to talk about. Is it an enjoyable drinking beer? It is, but it's enjoyable because it is so difficult to type this. You know, between the raspberry that you're getting, the vanilla you're getting, the heat that's either coming from the alcohol or from the chili, I'm not sure. The nose on it, which is confusing because you expect it to be so cloyingly sweet, and it's just not. So, I mean, I definitely think that this is a worthy beer to pick up and share with people, if only to discuss, you know, what's going on within here. So, you know, again, this is Komes. This is a raspberry porter, and Komes actually comes out of Poland. If it's available by you, I would pick it up, but don't pick it up for yourself. Pick it up to sit down and talk with your friends about, because this is one of those beers that I think everyone's going to have a different opinion on. Do I like it? I do. It's got a good mouthfeel, a good body. It's got a nice flavor to it. Is it what I expected? No, not at all. In fact, I'm completely surprised by what is going on in this glass. And I'm going to enjoy drinking the rest of this, trying to figure it out as I continue on through the rest of this bottle this evening. Anyway, thanks so much for stopping by. If you get a chance, Komes Raspberry Porter, definitely worth picking up, if only for the experience, you know, and sharing with some friends and talking about it. If you like the video, please like, subscribe. I'd love to hear any feedback from anybody who might have had this beer before. I'm really sort of looking for guidance. If anybody's, you know, got some insight into this, I'd love to hear it. Anyway, I'm going to go finish this off. You all have a good night. See you next time.